6 months ago, Fortnite blacklisted a celebrity, and after deleting countless items and collabs just before release, it's time we explored 40 new things banned in Fortnite. We've all heard about how crazy people went trying to catch the 1 in a million mythic goldfish, but after years of it being gone, Fortnite finally teased its return. Maybe it wasn't banned after all, but as the weekly updates continue to roll out, most fans lost hope it would ever come back, and now in Chapter 5, the mythic goldfish will likely never return to Battle Royale. The same goes for Lamborghinis, which seem like a brand new crossover. While it's technically real, we all remember how great collabs like Ferrari was. To this day, it is one of the best vehicles we have ever had. So when Lamborghinis were announced, we all blew up with excitement, only to realize it's just a skin. The actual car is a whiplash. With this new feature, it doesn't look like we will ever see real vehicle collabs again. Another thing you won't get to use anymore is overpowered medallions. From the start of the season, holding just one gave you an infinite slurp effect, and thankfully, they've been nerfed into the ground. They heal slower, weaker, and have a 3-second pause if you take damage. Most importantly, you won't get 100 shield anymore unless you're holding all 5. If you want to look the part collecting them, don't expect to wear designer outfits. Balenciaga was the first fashion collab in Fortnite, but now they are banned. The cosmetics kept returning to the shop, but after a big controversy, Fortnite still hasn't brought them back. That's not the only items to suddenly vanish. Epic added French cosmetics only to delete them before they could even release. Cerber and the Baguette Bat were meant to release for free to celebrate Bastille Day, until real-world situations caused them to backtrack, not only delaying the release, but removing them completely. It's kinda weird considering half the map is inspired by France, and the banned cosmetics are even in the paintings. What most people are begging to see back is old movement. Since Chapter 5 arrived, the #1 complaint was how slow everything is, with everyone asking Epic to revert the changes. Instead, they just fix the speed, and it's likely that we'll never see old movement again. But maybe that changes in the OG season Part 2. Even in Part 1, OG Fortnite wasn't exactly what people hoped for. When Quad Crashers were announced, players begged Epic to allow us to fly with them, only to try it out and get slammed into the ground. Looks like the days of launching these across the map are gone for good. At least they won't get you stuck in the storm because it's now a death trap. Since day one, players have always tried to find ways to survive it, with campfires, heals, even fish. But after people used slurp shrooms to win a tournament in Chapter 3, they introduced storm sickness, wiping out camping for good. A lot of people don't know this, but Fortnite also had to crack down on gambling. A lot of streamers in the community would 1v1 others for money, but Epic caught on quickly. They banned wagers from the game, and anyone who tries to take part in them loses their account. Another thing you can't play anymore is Battle Lab. This mode was pretty popular for anyone who just wanted to mess around on the map and practice with new items, but it got replaced by Creative Royale and was never seen again. And there's another mode that players will never give up on, and that is Imposters. It was basically Among Us in 3D, and everyone loved it, until Epic decided one day to permanently shut it down. Kinda makes sense with all the new games coming to Fortnite, but we can only hope it'll get unbanned. Something that was completely forgotten about is starting to get some buzz again. Tents were one of the key features introduced in Chapter 3, but not a lot of people used them. They had a ton of exploits that allowed you to keep mythics or old weapons, so Epic disabled them a few times before giving up on the feature entirely. And that's not the only glitch that caused something to be removed, because a toilet caused more problems than you would ever expect. One of the rift encounters from Chapter 4 was gotta go, but it turned out this porta potty tunnel led to nowhere, so you just got teleported under the map. Obviously, Epic had to remove it, only for it to return broken again the following season, leaving it permanently banned from the game. Sometimes things don't even make it that far, just like the throwing axe. It randomly appeared in the files last chapter and had never been released before, leaving people to speculate it might be for wilds. If it was, Epic scrapped the plan entirely, and the axe has been erased never to be seen again. Not the first time this happened either. An icon emote got the same treatment. Tunak Tunak Tomb was leaked to be one of the next dances, until Epic realized the creator was in jail. They backtracked completely, deleting it a few updates later, and it'll probably never see the light of day. Kinda feels like they have the same rules for a fan favorite weapon. The guided missile was one of the most unique items in Chapter 1, until it got vaulted for being way too powerful. They tried to rework it, but instead deleted the files entirely, which has never happened before. To this day, it's not available in creative or any mode, and was even planned to return in OG, but just never showed up. And that's not the only letdown from OG, because Epic also teased the old weapon models. The pump shotgun was right in the middle of the key art, promising the return like everyone hoped, until we went in game and saw it was the Chapter 2 model. What's wrong with the original, Epic? Sometimes changes are understandable though, like when another upcoming emote got cancelled before it was even finished. Leakers found sound files and an icon for a new DaBaby emote for a song AM to PM. It was just about to release until a ton of controversy happened, causing Epic to delete it in an instant. At least they didn't troll us with the most infamous item in the game. Of course, I'm talking about the Zappertron, which only lasted an hour in the early days before being completely vaulted. did. Ever since, people have asked for its return, only for Epic to tease it in imposters and live events, never giving us the real deal. Can't be the only one that seems like Fortnite loves to tease us for no reason, because they also showed us one of the most requested crossovers. Kirby appeared in Party Royale, Samus in a comic, and a dev recently said they're trying to make the collab work, but with how strict Nintendo is on exclusivity, it doesn't look like we'll be seeing any of their characters join the game. In fact, the more we get, the higher the chances of something going wrong, and that's exactly what happened with the Lizzo emote. After she fell into a bunch of controversies, Epic rushed to disable the emote just 10 minutes before it came to the shop, banning it for the foreseeable future, and now the celebrity will likely never come to the game. Sometimes it's Epic that falls into problems, and one example of this is community choice. It basically allowed us to vote for skins to return to the item shop, and was a pretty cool addition until they started using it for 3 brand new outfits. This meant losing skins wouldn't be released for a whole year, making a lot of people upset, so they stopped the vote forever. Like I said, some outfits will never return again, like Mike Lowry. He's obviously based on Will Smith's role in Bad Boys, but after the whole slap incident at the Oscars, he's been added to the ban list, so I guess he'll never hit the item shop again. Okay, in all seriousness, there's no joking about teaming in a tournament. Back in the day, a lot of comp players took advantage of swinging their pickaxe to make a truce so they could rotate to zones safely. Epic caught on to this and made an official rule about it, making it a bannable offense, so you won't really see it anymore. That doesn't mean they don't break rules either. During Chapter 3, Fortnite introduced the Block 2.0, allowing us to vote for creators' buildings in Tilted. What they didn't realize was that there's a default option, meaning players just buying mini shields voted for C every single time. It's the second time the blocks had a controversy, and I don't think we're ever gonna see it make a comeback. Something nobody expected them to ban was old chapters. As soon as UEFN launched, people rushed to make the OG map and gather thousands of players. But with Epic planning Fortnite OG on the horizon, they had to act, banning old chapter maps except for Chapter 1, which would be demonetized, meaning no one made any money. It makes sense since it's their property, but what about when other players remake stuff from outside the game? Creative is full of copyright, from SpongeBob to Home Alone. None of them are technically allowed, but it got so out of hand that Activision personally struck down any copies of COD maps, banning them from creative. In fact, creators have had to be stopped a lot of times in the past, including Friday Fortnite. It was a tournament hosted by Keemstar every week for prize money, but once Epic started official tournaments, they stepped in and shut it down. Players were even more outraged when one of the most expensive skins in the game appeared in the shop for 15 bucks. Reflex was originally exclusive to an NVIDIA graphics card until he was accidentally sold in the shop. Obviously it was a mistake, so they had to grant exclusive owners a completely new set, and even though the original skin isn't exclusive anymore, it is still banned from returning. They've also stopped the original ballers from ever coming back. They returned for the first time in Vibin, only to now have a battery, meaning you could barely travel before they ran out. Everybody hoped that their return to the OG season meant they'd be the ones from Chapter 1, only to find out it was still the nerf ones. Not the only thing they're avoiding, Rue has also been banned from returning for over 3 years now. When she first released, fans were quick to buy her, until they started to make comparisons to certain uniforms from World War II, and obviously I can't say it because YouTube won't let me. Well, Epic obviously saw the similarity, and she has never been sold again. It's not just skins, even items can start problems, like the boombox in Chapter 1. It obliterated structures and basically made a temporary zero build zone all the way back in 2019. Players were not happy, and Epic listened to feedback, vaulting the item permanently. It didn't even return for OG. One of the most requested features made it to the game for a limited time: account merging. People who started playing Fortnite on multiple devices had their locker split across 2 accounts and were given the chance to merge them all into one. With the issues of account trading for rare skins, Epic had to remove the feature, announcing it would never come back, which makes sense. Epic even did a double take themselves with some banned emotes. A lot of older dances are based on real life, and when the game got popular, people tried suing them. Even though they lost, Epic still keeps them from returning to the shop, although ones like Tidy and Rambunctious have made accidental returns 2 days in a row last year. If you're still hoping to see Gunner return to the shop, then you're out of luck. It was a reskin of Bonesy from the Season 6 Battle Pass, but barely had any changes. Epic responded to their mistake, refunding players the price, as well as a 200 bonus before deleting it from the game entirely. Sometimes skins become pay to win by accident, just like Siren. One update completely broke her style. It was even better than the superhero camouflage, so Epic locked the whole skin until it was patched. And I hate to say it, but one thing that looks like it'll never be released is Fortnite's RPG mode. It was first leaked years ago under the name Saturn with a completely different art style, but it turns out that it was completely scrapped, with Epic moving on to modes like Lego. The same can be said for the original styles for Skull and Ghoul Trooper. They are completely exclusive to players who bought them the first time around in 2017 and continue to be one of the most flex skins to this day. Alright, Alright, we all know about the rarest outfits, but what about gliders? Well, Mako was originally exclusive to the Season 1 level rewards for reaching level 25, but after a month after the season ended, it suddenly appeared in the shop, giving people a chance to grab the glider for the very last time. 40 things banned in Fortnite, it's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.